Welcome back from the very short break. So today I am standing in for all the Gen Zs. As young people, should we still prioritize getting married early, or is it time for us to redefine what true success really is? Because obviously a successful life in this generation is being tied to, okay, he did this at this age, he got married before 30, like married before 30 as an advanced fellow, and you've experienced life past this level. Do you think it's something that, looking back, you could say, okay, it's something that is really worth it? Make sure that
if you come to issue of marriage is a bit, I don't want to use the word complicated.
Okay.
But at the same time, it's not something as simple as we all thought it was. If somebody wants to get married, marry early or marry late should not be a priority, even though it's important. Why did I say so? Look, if you marry early and you don't have, especially as a male, and you don't have enough source of income, is that marriage will scatter or you enter into another situation? Because it takes a lot to run a family, apart from love.
Yeah.
Love is just for the earlier age, understanding is the key. So both of us must understand each other, and the part of the understanding, you must have something that you are bringing to the table as a man. And as a female, if you are not ready to do labor, people think marriage is simple work. As one slavery, for most ladies, you take care of the kids. What is that giving birth? You understand? You take care of the kids, you take care of the house. Yes, the guy is there to assist, but for how long? For how often? You go to work for morning, come back in the afternoon. You can only assist you probably around the morning, around evening, in the afternoon. You do most of the work indirectly, or you get a maid to assist you. So somehow is work. Now, married early should not be defined by your thoughts. It should be defined by two things. Defined in spiritual way. If God give you a direction in that life, fine. If God did not give you a direction and you want to make the decision, it's not a good idea, but it still work for most people. Put your house in order. Now I want to go so into so. At this age, did I have what it takes? Did I, as a male, as a female, did I have what it takes? If you have what it takes, for example, now if you get a good job, you are settled down. For a man, marry early is more important than for a female, but no males don't know that. Let me give you a breakdown. Imagine you marry at the age of 30. Practically, you are just doing labor loss work if care is not taken. You know why I said so? By the time your child is 30, that's if you are lucky to give birth earlier. By the time your child is 30, that you'll be 61. Because you at least you have 9 months after 30. That's if you get if you are pregnant earlier. What is the probability that you as a man will live up to 61? Now let's assume that you're able to live up to 61. What is the probability that the guy, when you are 30 now, are you able to send anything to your parents? Be honest, as a male. What's the probability that the child will actually be able to send anything to you? Now I'm not saying you should prioritize getting a refund on what you do because it's your kid. I'm just saying that the whole curriculum is just more of putting for a man. So, but if you marry earlier, there is high tendency that you get a period of resting whereby you can point and say, this is the fruit, this is the result of my fruit. My child is the government, my child is this. I don't even understand my point. Now, there's a lot of young people that do well at their 20s. We have a lot of them, especially social media is the key now. So that's why I said I'm not using that as a yardstick. I'm just talking about the large percentage of people that fall into that shit. So, now, but if you marry a little bit earlier, then it becomes a bigger plus. But imagine now you are married extremely late. Let's say you marry at the age of 40 or 45. Then, even if you had 30 to your 40, 45, you're already around 70, 80. The chance of you living that long is slim. Now, if you now live quite long, because at least people still live over 100, you discover that you did not get the more of energy of your result is lesser. So, my take on that is this. If you are ready, now you are ready does not mean that you have plenty money, please. Because when you come to marriage, I'm married. And I remember when I married, I don't have any savings. Most of us don't have any savings. I think I've been in service here, 3 years, 4 years down to my service here. After my service, that's when I got married. 3, 4 years after my service here, that's when I got married. Now, and it's not that anybody that have served know that 4 years after service, there's not always something, serious roasting things. But at least I know at that period, I'm using myself as a sample that I can take care of at least one person, because there's a young guy that's school University of Jos, was doing a work earlier, so he moved to my apartment and he had to stay with me. So the guy stayed with me for like 6 months to 1 year. That's the only confirmation I have I can start with him. That's me. Because I'm able to take care of the guy, feeding, at least we are choppy. So I don't know if I can take up this, I can take up everything. At least we can go now. I don't know if you understand my point. And it's actually make me prepared to some extent in going into marriage.
Wow.
So if you don't have the knowledge of what to spend, it will not be fun except God so mercy. So you can marry earlier if you have not everything, but when you feel you are ready enough, like you can take care of the person to some extent, both of you have a basic understanding, you have a high level of communication. You understand? Both of you communicate, like you have a common ground on communication, then you can go ahead. Apart from being led should be the priority. But if you don't have all those things, then stay until you have them, even if it is at the age of 50, because it's better to single than to get married and want to be single. That's what a lot of families are going through now. There's a lot of men that they feel that they just want to be single back, and there's a lot of female that they feel like, if I don't, I'm not at married. If they have assuming there is a way they can just go and say secretly, how many weddings are scattered within the age of 1 year? Go and look at the statistics. Most weddings end within the space of 1 year or 2. Why? And the one that are standing too don't have any, or let's say, power, or they don't have any faith to tell you boldly that it will stand forever. So, but if you can get those things in place, then you have an issue. It's better to be single than getting married and struggle to become single again. So, rushing into marriage should not be a priority. But if you fail, you have what it takes, go into it. If you don't, hold on as much as you can. And why will I say that? Once you get into the marriage, they will give another prayer of you getting a child on your head. Now, do you know that you can get married at the age of 30 and yet you will not have a child for the next 10 years? Now, I'm not saying a bad thing, but I know that it's what happened in some cases. And somebody will just get married at the age of 35 and they have 2-3 kids even when you don't have any.
That's very insightful. So it's very important. Like, my own take is that life happens, so there shouldn't be like an age fixed mindset about stuff like that, marriage and family life and all of that. You should personally know what your life is going to become, and then you pursue your goal as an individual, not based on societal expectations or trends on social media, all of that. So Gen Zs, please beware. And if you learned any lessons from this video, do well to drop it in the comment section. Like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Do well to check out other videos. And thank you very much for staying tuned. Thank you also, sir, for coming on the show with us. And see you in the next one. Bye.